Hello, everyone. At the start of this episode, we are shown a flashback. Actually, when Hujan met Chamuhi in Japan, he stayed overseas for almost 3 months because of his trip. And as soon as he entered Korea, his driver asked him, "Have you ever met a celebrity before?" The truth is, there was a huge crowd at the airport because of a celebrity. And the moment Hujan heard the word celebrity, the only person that came to his mind was Chamuhi. He immediately opened her Instagram and checked her profile. At that time, she was just about to reach 10,000 followers. She only had 1 follow request left, and Hujan ended up following her. And along with that, he also found out that she had gone for the shooting of a horror movie. Deep down, he wished that this movie would become a huge success for her. And at that exact moment, fireworks started lighting up the sky. This was the same time when she was filming her final scene, and she fell down from the rooftop. Well, now Chamuhi had finally recovered completely, and she was being invited to many events. Her life had changed overnight. She felt like she had died and then gone straight to heaven. Life felt like a fairy tale to her. To her, that fall was almost equal to death, and now she was living a brand new life, enjoying her celebration at its peak. She started going to different places, interviews, shows, photo shoots, and everywhere she went, people absolutely loved her. But sometimes her old habits returned. She would suddenly worry, "This dress is so expensive. What if it gets ruined?" But her manager would tell her, "Now you are kdrama. Not only can you wear all this, you can even ruin it. It won't matter at all." And when she checked her Instagram for the first time, she realized she was about to hit 10 million followers. But this is where something strange happened for the first time. One day, she looked into the mirror, and it felt like kdrama was sitting right in front of her, laughing at her. She immediately became nervous. She hid it from everyone. It was a hallucination. On the other side, we are shown Hujan. His house was nothing less than a farmhouse, huge and beautiful, left behind for him by his grandfather. And along with that, the house was filled with countless books, so rare they were considered antiques. Hujan mostly stayed overseas for trips, so his uncle often used the house as a guest house and earned a lot of money from it. They say, "The house is empty anyway. It's good that people come in and out. It stays lively." All those books were actually under his mother's name. Hujan would say, "Call mom back from overseas so she can take her books with her." But his uncle replied, "For that, we would need an entire ship. She won't come that easily. Why don't you get married? Maybe she'll return because of your wedding." And then Hujan finds out that his relatives and close people have started suspecting him. They think he has been dating that celebrity who is now famous as kdrama. Actually, Chamuhi had posted a photo on Instagram from Japan, and in that photo, Hujan was also standing there. It was only his side pose, but the people close to him had already recognized him. He got tired of explaining to everyone, "Nothing happened. I was not on a trip with that girl, and I have nothing to do with that celebrity." He even tried pretending in front of his friends, saying, "Wow, doesn't that guy look so much like me?" But they replied, "Don't try to fool us. We'd recognize you even if you were wearing a mask." One day, he was watching a TV show that Chamuhi was hosting, and that's when the thought came to his mind, "Maybe I should try to meet her once." And then, finally, the day arrived. Chamuhi had an interview with an international magazine, and an interpreter had been arranged. And that interpreter turned out to be none other than Hujan himself. The moment she heard his voice, she was completely shocked. She turned around to look at him, and she wanted to start talking immediately, but she had to stay reserved in front of everyone. During the interview, people asked her, "There's a photo on your Instagram. People say that guy might have been your romantic boyfriend." But she replied, "Nothing like that. He was just a stranger who helped me." However, she did say softly, in direct words, that whenever she goes somewhere, she always thinks that maybe on some unknown road, she might see a handsome stranger again, and her heart would start racing. Hearing this, Hujan, sitting behind her, started blushing too. After that, he told her manager that he needed 2 minutes to talk to Chamuhi. Please let him meet her. At that time, she was sitting in her van eating her food. Her schedule was so tight that she barely even got proper time to eat. They had only just said hello when they reached the next venue. She was already late for the interview there, so she had to get out of the car immediately. But while leaving, she said to him, "It will take 2 hours. Can you wait for me?" And he replied, "I can." Now, as they were getting ready for the interview for that TV show, the manager's headphones were lying right there. He stepped outside for a moment, and because of that, everything being discussed inside the makeup room became audible outside. Inside, the staff were openly saying things like, "That interpreter today was really handsome. Isn't he the same guy from your Instagram photo? We recognized him immediately." But Chamuhi quickly replied, "It's not like you all are thinking. He was just a stranger." Yes, however, it was true that she had spent a very beautiful day with him. She did have feelings somewhere in her heart, and deep down, Hujan could probably sense it too. Well, the interview ends, and after that, Hujan starts looking for Chamuhi, and just then, she comes and stands right beside him. She didn't want anyone to recognize her. In fact, as she was walking with him, she even said, "People recognize Dorami more than they recognize me. If I put on my horror makeup, maybe then they'll recognize me properly." It was very cold there, so Hujan took off his scarf and gave it to her. Then he said, "Why don't we have dinner together?" The same dinner that had been left pending, and she immediately agrees to go to dinner with him. She asks him, "You said you wanted to tell me something. Go ahead, say it." And Hujan says, "What I wanted to say is, that Instagram photo of yours, the one where I'm visible, please delete it." Chamuhi is completely shocked. She's thinking, he finally got the chance to meet me again, and this is what he wants to talk about, deleting a photo? Hujan explains, "I searched for you on purpose. I even took this interpreter job because I wanted to meet you. There was no other way. And the people close to me have already recognized me. So for your sake, so that you don't face any trouble later, it would be better if you delete it." Chamuhi takes out her phone. She's just about to delete the photo, but then she stops and says, "If I delete it, people will become even more suspicious. It will look like I became famous, so I dumped my old boyfriend, and then people will chase you even more." And right here, because of stress, something slips out of Hujan's mouth. He says, "Can't the date of the post be changed somehow?" And then, suddenly, Chamuhi understands. That girl, his first love, that day was her birthday, and that's why he had gone to that spot, the place connected to their memories. He didn't want that girl to find out that he had gone there, and he also didn't want any misunderstanding that he had become someone else's boyfriend. After hearing this, Chamuhi feels angry at first, but then she convinces herself and says, "Think carefully, decide properly whether you want it deleted or not." Hujan replies, "All right, I'll think about it, and then I'll message your manager and let him know." As she is leaving, Hujan stretches out his hand towards her, and she instantly places her hand in his. But actually, he was just asking for his scarf back. That moment was awkward in the most romantic way possible. While returning, she also finds out that her manager seems to know him quite well. The manager explains, "Mr. Ju Hujan used to come to the ward often, just to see you. That was when you were in an 8-person ward. Your movie hadn't even been released yet. Your financial conditions were very bad back then. He came because he read in the news that Chamuhi, a small actress, had fallen from a rooftop and gotten injured, and he took a lot of care of you. During that time, I interacted with him, but later, when you became famous, you were shifted to the VIP ward, and after that, he stopped coming." All right, now after this, we are shown Hujan's side of the story.
The girl he once liked was named Sujan, and before he could ever confess, express his love, or even propose, he realized he was already too late. His closest friend had become her boyfriend, and just like that, his love story ended before it even began. Even after all these years, Hujan remained single, stuck in Sujan's memories. Meanwhile, Chamuhi asked her manager for Hujan's card. She kept looking at it again and again. Eventually, she memorized the number. To inform him about it, she called him. But at the same time, she gave her manager another task. She asked him to find a girl whose birthday fell on the same date when she had posted that photo. While Chamuhi was still on the call, her manager found the girl and said she was a producer. Unfortunately, Hujan heard all of this on the phone. That's when embarrassment hit her hard.
She told him she wanted to explain everything in person and showed up outside his house. Nervously, she said he must think she was a stalker. Hyujin replied honestly, of course he would think that. Chamuhi admitted she was extremely embarrassed. She promised she'd try not to check the girl's Instagram profile, but also admitted she probably still would. Then she added that curiosity wasn't just her problem. He had checked on her too. After all, he used to visit her at the hospital even when they were just strangers. Hyujin told her that if she kept digging around, the news would eventually reach that girl. It would be better if he just told her everything himself. He invited her inside, saying it was too cold outside. Once inside, he shared his love story. Before he could ever confess, the girl had already become his friend's girlfriend. For years, he kept visiting the same island in her memory, the island she once wanted as a birthday gift. Not a bouquet, an entire island. Chamuhi asked if he had gone there that day hoping to meet her again. He clarified that he only went because his friend asked him to, and that there was nothing between them anymore. Chamuhi softly said that if they'd gone to dinner together that day, and if that girl wasn't in his life anymore, maybe something could have happened between them. Maybe they could have been in a relationship. But Hyujin shut it down gently, saying that whether they went to dinner or not, a relationship between them was simply not possible. That completely broke her heart. She almost cried, but covered it up by saying she had caught the flu from standing in the cold. She quietly wiped away her tears and her nose, trying not to lose her dignity. Before leaving, she tried to save face by joking that she was just checking whether, now that she was a big celebrity, he might try to take advantage of her because of her past secret. Then she said her confusion was finally cleared. They both accepted that they probably wouldn't meet again. Later, Chamuhi attends an award show. There, she experiences a frightening moment. She hallucinates Dorami walking toward her and pushing her. She almost falls, but Kurosawa catches her in time. But Chamuhi is terrified. She goes straight to Hyujin, the one person who already knows her secrets. Sitting in front of him, she breaks down crying. She reminds him of what he once told her, that even if they couldn't be together, he would always cheer for her from somewhere in the crowd, clapping for her happiness, because her celebration had just begun. Now, through tears, she tells him she feels like her celebration is coming to an end. She feels like she's losing her mind. And with that emotional breakdown, this part comes to an end. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.